Yo, the human propensity for self-destruction is like almost unfathomable. That's right, unfathomable, because hard to imagine, because it's like even when we try to help each other, we end up like hurting each other. Right? I want to talk about the coronavirus and the origins of the coronavirus. In 2020, we heard about this crazy virus from it originated in Wuhan, China, and it actually originated, they said, in these wet markets where they sell exotic meats, right? They said that the coronavirus was a zoonotic virus, which means that it came from animal origins and worked its way into the human species. What they said is that it came from a bat and made it to the human species via a pig, right? Which is the way that we've gotten crazy viruses in the past, right? So there's precedent for that. However, it so turns out as they do more research into that zoonotic origin theory, it doesn't hold much water. And it so turns out that it's more likely that that this virus, the Corona-19 virus, was developed in a lab by humans and it leaked into the general public, meaning that we did this shit to ourselves. Which, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about it, because 3.5 million people died because of this. Now, I want to talk about that origin theory. It's called the lab leak origin theory. Um, in 2020, they told us about these wet markets and how terrible they are in Wuhan, and how we need to shut them down because it's exposing our species to these crazy exotic diseases. But there's another interesting thing in Wuhan, China, that they didn't speak much about. The Wuhan Institute of Virology, where they study something called gain of function research. That's what they do there. What is gain of function research? It's when they make these super bugs, these super viruses in a lab, human engineered, and they try to destroy them. The idea being that if we can create a super bug and destroy it, then we'll know how to create maybe a more naturally occurring super bug, right? And I don't know about the efficacy of that. Like, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know if that's good or bad or if it's right. It seems scary, especially that looking in the face of it now, it seems that that's exactly what caused, this viral outbreak. So it seems crazy. This is where it kind of gets into politics. And this is where the discussion I really wanted to have. When Trump was president, he said a lot of negative things about China, blamed them for the flu. He kind of insinuated that they did it on purpose to like slow down the American economy, shit like that. I don't know if any of that is true. I'm likely to not believe it because it just sounds crazy. However, I don't know, right? That's just the truth. I don't know. But the media seem to take the total opposite side of the argument, right? It seems like whatever Trump says, the media has to be the opposite, and the opposite side has to be right. As opposed to the media looking into facts and trying to ascertain the objective truth. Instead of doing that, they just look at what Trump says and the opposite must be true, right? And the problem with this is that because the media behaves in that manner, because our society to an extent behaves, we're so like segregated and sectarian in our divisions and shit, that it seems that we that's just how we react. If someone I disagree with says something, the opposite is true no matter what. Now, do I think that China did this on purpose? I don't think so. Again, the human propensity for self-destruction, like I said, is nuts. So I really can't speak on that. I don't know. I don't think so. But we do know for a fact that, and it is more likely that these viruses were man-made and we did it to ourselves. Now, the reason why this is important, obviously ascertaining the origin of this disease is important. One of the solutions that people like Anthony Fauci and the world health community at large, one of the solutions that they brought forth in order to avoid us having issues like this going forward is to fund more gain of function research. So they're saying they want to fund more of the research that led to the viral outbreak in the first place. I mean, again, I can't speak to the efficacy of gain of function research. I don't know. However, if it works, do it right. And don't fucking have a pandemic because there was a leak. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's too much to ask for. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's really crazy because PolitiFact, even last year, PolitiFact rated the lab leak theory as to the origin of the coronavirus. They rated that theory as pants on fire, meaning that it's a straight up lie and you shouldn't believe it. There's nothing true about it. Now it appears that that's true. What's happening in politics is that we're just so divided that we feel like just taking the opposite position of the person we don't like, the orange monster that we don't like, just taking the opposite position is enough, and that's right enough. Fuck that. We have to do research and put our objective, research hat on and fuck what people say and ascertain truth. When politics gets so divided that we can't even, as a species, come together and figure out how to protect ourselves from, diseases and viruses that can ravish us and that has ravished us. We can't protect ourselves from that because we're so politically divided. We have a problem, and we need to solve that problem. Super interesting shit.